Hello there, my name is Ed Tadeo and I'm a comic book artist and I practice animation. I worked on Marvel Comics on titles such as X-Men, Wolverine, Uncanny X-Men, New Mutants, Silver Surfer, and other X books. XP Pen has sent me their product called XP Pen Artist Squad Pro for a tutorial. The tutorial has 3 parts. The first part is animation of a character. The second is the coloring and compositing, and the third will be comic book art. So let's begin. Welcome to the second part of the tutorial. This is Ed Tadeo and I'm a comic book artist and I practice animation. If you missed the first part of the animation, there is a link in the description below. From the last part of the animation, we roughly draw the animation with XP Pen Artist 12 Pro in Krita Painter. This time we will draw the cleanup outline of our drawing. This will take some time so you can play music while you do this. When drawing the lines, make sure you draw each with single stroke. You can turn on the onion skin so you can see the progress you are drawing. This will also prevent your drawing from growing or shrinking. After finishing all the outline, we are going to color it. Create new layer below the line art and rename it. This layer will be our base color. Let us make a clipping mask. Select that layer, then right click, then choose group, then quick clipping group or shift Ctrl G. Rename the group if you like. Go to mask layer and rename it as colors. Create another layer, then rename it as shadows. Then go to layers option, then choose multiply. Turn down the opacity down to 50%. Go back to flat colors layer and create blank keyframes to the timeline by right-clicking. Hold down Shift key and select keyframe up to last frame in the timeline. While selected, hold down the Control key and click and drag copies of the keyframe to the next layer above. We can now start coloring starting on the flat colors layer. You can use any tool in the brush docker. To color my drawing, I use ink 4 pen rough and turned off the opacity. Pick which is dominant color in your drawing and color around it first. Then fill it with the bucket tool or fill tool. Now go to the color layer and make sure your clipping mask is on. Then color the drawing with the rest of the colors. You will see the overlapping colors when I turned off the clipping mask. We will do the same in the shadow layer but only with single color. I use dark purple. If you want to create a highlight layer, create new layer and rename it. Choose Screen in the options and turn down the opacity from 50 to 75%. I choose a very light yellow for the highlight colors. Do this with all of the keyframe. Above the background layer, create new layer for the drop shadow. Turn down the opacity to 50%. Use black for the color. Create new keyframe and start coloring, and do this just like the rest of the layers. Let's paint the background we draw from our animation. Copy the background to a new file and save it as KRA or Krita file. The background is seamless, so we extend the image by expanding the canvas by holding down Ctrl-Alt-C. Enable the wraparound mode by going to View menu, then connect the drawing. Lower down the opacity of the pencil, then create new layer just below it. This will be the final inked drawing. On the layer below will be the sky. The rule is up to you whether you paint on single layer or as many as you like. Just have fun painting the background. Layering each part of the painting, such as the clouds, mountains, trees, etc., will keep your drawing preserved in case you make mistakes. After finishing the painting, you can save it as JPEG or PNG. After finishing the background, export the animation by going to File, Render Animation. The rendering will be image sequence, so make sure to render it in a folder. Choose image sequence in Export and the number where your last frame is. Name your files as prefix in base name and leave the start numbering to 0. Then click OK. After rendering your image sequence and painted background, we are going to import them in HitFilm Express, which is another free software. To import the animation, go to Import Image Sequence. Select the folder where you saved all the images of the animation. Then click OK. You can just drag the background and the sound effects in HitFilm to import it. I have created a composite and name it Frog. If you want to create a composite, just click New and enter the desired dimension of your animation. Drag the animation on the timeline of the composite, then resize it to fit. Below it, drag the background. Select the frog animation and duplicate it by right-clicking. Then choose Duplicate or Ctrl-D. Select the duplicated animation and drag it until you created a cycle. To group the cycle as one, select the layers and right-click. Then choose Make Composite Shot. Rename it if you like. Select the background and resize it. Position the entire background to the far left until we see the right portion of the background. If we collapse the background layer, we'll see Transform option. Under it, there is a Position option. On the first frame, click the circle to create an instance of animation. In the timeline, drag all the way to the end. Drag the background all the way to the right until the image is in the same as the first frame. You can enable the motion blur of the background if you like. Add the vignette by clicking New Plane. We'll prompt you to create a plane and choose white color. Then click OK. Add the plane just above all layers. In the Effects Docker, search Vignette. Drag the vignette 1080p to the white layer. In the vignette effects, choose HD Soft in the preset. Right-click the white layer for the blend option and choose Multiply. Create new composite shot and rename it. Drag the frog composite to the new sequence. Drag the audio file to the timeline just below the composite. This is a jumping sound, so you need to synchronize it to time the animation. Do this for the rest of the jump and you are done. You can now export the video of your animation. I hope you enjoy making the animation, and until next time.